MULTIVERSE Prime here, so it's time for a actually unboxing and review today, and in today's video is going to be for a DC superhero. This is based on how this superhero appears in a video game based on comics, and this is a figure of one of my favourite DC superheroes of all time, based on, of course, how he appears in a video game, Injustice 2. And that, of course, is none other than Superman, as he, of course, appears in Injustice 2. And this is him wearing his upgraded armour, which is pretty cool that he wears in the game. And the figure itself comes with two alternate hands, and also back there I can see a card. And I think down there's also a stand to put a figure on as well. On the back here, pretty nice artwork of Superman there, I think it's from the comics. Although it is pretty misleading because it's a picture of him before he gets the upgraded armour this figure has. So we should have probably had a picture of him with his upgraded armour on, really, but nonetheless, it's a pretty cool artwork, I must say, with heat vision as well, and looking like he's about to fight. On the spine there, it says DC MULTIVERSE, which of course is a franchise by McFarlane Toys, which is up there. And it says Superman from Injustice 2 as a source. And it's pretty cool. On the same there, once again, it says Superman and DC MULTIVERSE there as well. So, when it comes, of course, to what I think of Injustice 2, it's one of my favourite DC games of all time, and I've played it many times on both Xbox One and recently on PS4 as well, the Legendary Edition of it. And it's definitely, in my opinion, a great game, and I definitely love both the Injustice games equally. They're both great games, made by the same people who made Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm, definitely great games. And in terms of course, also merchandise, as well as, of course, having the games to hand to play, of course, I've even collected figures from it. So, for example, here is my figure of Batman, as he appears in Injustice 2, for example, which is pretty cool. And on display as well, I also have my figures of characters such as Supergirl and the Joker, as well, from Injustice games. Joker from the first game and Supergirl from Injustice 2. So, because she wasn't in the first game, she was introduced in the second game. So, and when it comes, of course, to Superman in both the games, I think that he was definitely portrayed really well as being like a villain type of character. They did a really great job showing him becoming a villain through losing, of course, one that he loves and his city that he's grown up in, Metropolis. And of course, this results in him killing the Joker, and then, of course, becoming the High Council of Earth, and pretty much the villain of the story, really, which is pretty cool. And I think George Newman did a really great job voicing Superman in both the games, and definitely portrayed him really well, of course, when he's being a villain type of character. And George Newman will always be my favourite voice actor for Superman, and because I think he does an amazing job playing in these games. So, anyhow, let's get the figure open, shall we? So, on the top here, there is 3 pieces of satay, which I'm going to cut open now. So, I'm going to use my scissors to cut them in case it's hard to do with my hands. So, there's the middle one done. Now on the right, I'm going to... There we go. And now on the left now as well. There we go. Now let's get it open. So when you take out the plastic packaging, there's the figure there, secured in the packaging. On the back, that's what a cape looks like. It's hanging out of the packaging, so when I take out, I've got to be very careful. And in terms of the background, so sadly, despite, of course... So sadly, just like every McFarlane Toys figure I've unboxed so far for DC Multiverse, it's just the same background, nothing new whatsoever, which disappoints me because with the DC Direct figures for McFarlane Toys for Injustice 2, Batman and Supergirl, they had a different background. And also the 2-pack set I got of Green Lantern, Hal Jordan and Batman as a Green Lantern, they had a different background, whereas this one does not. It's the same one, sadly. Nothing new whatsoever, which is very disappointing. So, here, for example, of course, is also the stand as a first piece of merchandise opened up. So, here's what it looks like. And unfortunately, it's the same stand as pretty much every other DC Multiverse figure I've unboxed. The same one. Nothing new whatsoever, just black and the DC logo there. Nothing new whatsoever. Like, not even the Superman symbol or the Injustice 2 logo. Just that, really disappointing. On a more positive note, though, here is the card. And it has the same picture on it as the back of a box, which is the case for many figures on box where the picture on this card is the same as back of a box. There's a date for which I'll read out as well. So real name, of course, is Kal-El, adopted name is Clark Kent. Sent to Earth from the dying planet of Krypton as a baby, Kal-El was found by farmers Martha and Jonathan Kent and raised as their son Clark. As Clark grew up, the radiation from Earth's yellow sun gave him extraordinary powers, which he kept hidden. Now fully grown, he uses his powers to protect his adopted world as Superman. So, while it's, of course, explaining his origins, it's disappointing how it doesn't even explain about him in the context of the Injustice comics or the games, which is really disappointing. I don't understand why they're not mentioning the games in that description. So, anyway, though, let's get the figure and the accessories out first. So first of all, in terms of what's in the plastic packaging, if I just be careful here, here are the two alternate hands. There's a right hand which is more opened up like this, so it's opened up, and then a left hand which is clenched into a fist, looks like that. So, because when I look at a figure, it's got the same type of hands where one's a fist and the other's opened up, but it's reversed. So the right hand is a fist and the left hand's more opened up, so you can customise it how you want to. Usually with figures of Superman, I tend to have them as fists, really, because he fights, of course. There's one piece of rope holding the torso in place and someone holding his arms in place, so I'm going to cut those and be careful, don't scratch the figure. There's the torso one cut. Then there's also one on the right arm as well, but more further in the left one for some reason, near the elbow. Cut it now anyway. Now for the legs, you've got to be careful with these, because they're pretty narrow in, unfortunately. There's one done. Now one on my left, there we go. Now let's get a figure open, shall we? Got to be really careful though, I don't want the cape to be stuck. There we go. So now here is the figure, and wow, this figure looks really awesome. So despite my disappointment with, of course, with a stand, and really, this figure definitely makes up because I think it's really cool, and I gotta say, they did a really great job recreating how Superman appears in the game. So in terms of posability, arms can go 360 degrees, which is pretty cool, and on the left as well, and they're quite loose, I must say, too. And elbow can also fold as well, which is nice on both of them. So yeah, it's very posable, I must say, and pretty loose. So yeah, not too solid in, thankfully, but not too loose to a point where it looks like it's about to fall off. Legs can also move forward too. We can't really go back due to a cape blocking them, which makes sense. But yeah, it's pretty cool how well posable they are. Knee can also fold well too on the left and the right, which is nice, and also his feet can also all move too as well, which is nice. And the torso front can also fold too as well, which is pretty nice too. Makes it more realistic. And head can also as well turn, but not too much though. So out of all the moving parts of the figure, the head is the most secured one really. So pull off the best, because I don't want to rip off by mistake really, but it'd be cool if you could customise this figure to have him, of course, with his headgear and without his headgear, really. That could be pretty cool. They'd probably do a figure of Superman before he got his armour on, before he got imprisoned, maybe. That'd be pretty cool to play with, and you could customise, so yeah. And, of course, for sake of comparison, I'll compare him with my figure of Batman, which I have here to show. So, here they are, of course, and they're rivals in this game, which is pretty cool. They did a very good job with the size difference, didn't they, in this? Really good job with it, so yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. So I can recap the fight scene now, which is pretty cool. Nice. So this is definitely a great figure, guys, and the cape's in a position where it looks like it's moving in the wind, really. I kind of prefer the way NECA do it, where, of course, it's an actual cape, which is, movable, really, in different positions you want it to be. I think that's more realistic, but this is a pretty cool pose for it. Makes sense for Superman, of course, because his cape usually brushes in the wind, doesn't it, really? It's a pretty cool figure, anyway. So guys, this is me doing my unboxing of Superman as he appears in the game Injustice 2 by McFarlane Toys. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to throw in the comments what you guys think of this figure of Superman. If you have it, let me comments below what you think of it. If you think about getting a figure, I'd recommend if you like the Injustice 2 game, or Superman as a character, or DC, or McFarlane Toys figures in general, definitely must have a figure in my opinion. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe, videos coming in the future, and up, and away.